Danko is keeping his mercenary noble fighters in reserve, which is a pretty smart thing to do. The cavalry advantage goes to Danko. The infantry advantage, a slight infantry advantage, goes to Madslinky. However, four of those infantry units are late Libyan hoplites, while Danko has these mercenary Iberian swords. So no skirmishers, and this is pretty interesting to me because, well, okay, one unit of Libyan peltas for Madslinky in case of elephants, but I think these guys would do just as good a job, and I think that is, or maybe he brought two Libyan peltas, okay, two Libyan peltas, but I think this is pretty interesting because in this mirror matchup I think the players want to play as safely as possible, and as safely as possible in patch 15 is a fuck ton of swords. That is basically a fuck ton of swords, and then some capabilities to deal with cavalry is the safest way. Danko played it very smart. He doesn't have any skirmishers. I think that is going to serve Danko very well in this battle, but we'll see. His cavalry advantage is going to enable him to sandwich the enemy units. Mercenary Scutari cavalry by Danko going up against the mercenary Scutari cavalry, or the mercenary Scutari cavalry of Danko is being sandwiched between Carthaginian cavalry and late Libyan hoplites. But all across the line here, it's just basically send in units into melee, trying to make cavalry do the damage. These mercenary Iberian swords should go and support infantry fights in any way they can. Danko is now sandwiching these late Libyan hoplites, and this is just an absolute mess. This will probably come down to who has the most effective infantry units, and Madslinky is using shield wall before, well, actually Danko is using shield wall before Madslinky. That might play a role, but as you can see they are pretty damn even. Still, slight advantage here to Danko. He is in shield wall, his units will be able to survive a bit better. Over here, these late Libyan hoplites are going down, and that is going to be the death sentence for these mercenary Italian swords, and is going to enable Danko to better support the flanks and charge through. So a few cavalry units having a standoff here, but overall the fights are looking fairly stable. The Libyan infantry that's up against Libyan infantry here, they are losing because of the supporting fire from the peltas, presumably, but the units of Madslinky that are up against mercenary noble fighters are going to get absolutely destroyed. Race banner is used by Danko. Danko has a few units free that he can use to plug gaps in his lines and that he can use to support. These Libyan peltas are actually being quite effective here because they aren't opposed, so they are firing at the mercenary noble fighters. If they're able to take down enough of these mercenary noble fighters, they're going to easily be able to pay for themselves. So I'm not quite sure why Danko doesn't try to go for these Libyan peltas, because right now they are a major threat to both of these units of mercenary noble fighters, but maybe he thinks he'll be able to break through these Samnites and then he'll just charge through, which he might very well do. So those mercenary noble fighters might be able to break through the center and to get at the skirmishers, and these late Libyan hoplites are going to die as well. So Danko has managed to move behind the lines of Madslinky. Madslinky is destroying the mercenary Scutari cavalry. I don't like the choice of mercenary Scutari cavalry. I think they are a fairly weak cavalry unit that I don't much see the point in bringing. Noble cavalry of Madslinky is almost completely destroyed. The noble cavalry of Carthage is a crap unit. It's not near cost effective in most scenarios. The Libyan infantry over here is losing, presumably due to this infantry support. But overall, this battle can be a bit difficult to call. Still, these mercenary nobles should be able to destroy these late Libyans fairly quickly. The Libyan peltas are being tied up, and overall the edge looks to be going to Danko here, because Danko, with his infantry advantage and his cavalry advantage, is going to be able to move around the flanks and win the battles decisively. It looks like the Libyan peltasts might be out of ammunition now. They are not firing. They can be able to function in a melee role afterwards, but I think mercenary Iberian swords would have been a much better choice. Although they have lower armor, they have higher melee attack, and they also have higher weapon damage together with higher melee defense, so they could do very well in this type of scenario. But still, it is close. On this flank, the battle is going in Madslinky's favor. On this flank, it's slightly in Danko's favor. He's going to have to send in his mercenary Iberian swords pretty soon here, because he's losing his cavalry. His mercenary Italian swords are doing okay. They will do okay against these guys. And he's pulling his general's bodyguard out. I think the general of... Madslinky's general bit the dust. He is off the field. That might play a factor in these types of Carthaginian armies, because there are very few disciplined units. Libyan infantry is disciplined, but mercenary Italian swords and Libyan infantry is disciplined, but mercenary Samnites are disciplined as well. So he didn't have Scutari or mercenary noble fighters, because those units are not disciplined. So he had a lot of disciplined units actually, and that's going to serve him pretty well. But just looking at the units left here, I think this is going to be a victory for Danko. The player should call a GG fairly soon, I think. He has his general left. These mercenary Italian swords are going to start to waver. He still has, and it looks like Madslinky left the game. He didn't call GG, or he dropped, and the host has also left the game. So that the host was Madslinky, I think. That was the end of the battle, and that was pretty tough to call actually. But I think I would give the edge to Danko if that if it comes down to any sort of decision. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what happened there. I'll just have to ask them, really. I'll ask Madslinky what happened. It would be very funny if it was rage quit. But let's just hold out on the judgment on that until we know what actually happened. But I think Danko had it. Memkan didn't have enough units to pull it out. Danko still had his mercenary nobles. He still had a lot of his infantry left. I don't see Memkan pulling it off, but it is a very, very, very close call. Still, I'm going to wait until Memkan responds to basically see what happened. It might have been just a legitimate drop, no idea. But if I was to judge that battle before seeing it again, I would have said that the edge goes to Danko. But we will see what actually happens. We don't know at this time what happens. I don't think Memkan pulled the plug, because he's still online in Steam. I'm still talking to him in Steam, so he probably didn't pull the plug there. But it will be really interesting to see what happened. He isn't responding just yet. It would be epic if the last battle ended in a rage quit, but I'll give Madslinky the benefit of the doubt. But he should have conceded defeat. Attila says he maybe realized that he lost and just quit. Then he should have conceded defeat and not just I don't know what he did, but let's see. It was very, very close, but the edge did go to Danko in that last. And remember that about the skirmishers, the denarii spent on skirmishers for Madslinky, Danko just went straight up, went safe, and just went for all infantry and cavalry, and that was a very smart choice, I think, in a mirror matchup. Still not any answer from Madslinky. But I think that, well, I think this battle should go to Danko in any case, since Madslinky dropped. Okay, Madslinky says that his father came in and turned off his computer. For real, he said his father came in a range and turned off the computer, so he didn't rage quit, he was rage quit on by his father. Don't really know how to respond to that. That's pretty. Yeah. Oh man. So it is a possibility. So he lost by dad, I guess. I guess that's possible. I can totally see my father turning off my computer if I'm 15 and I have school the next day and it's getting late. But oh wow. The Persian prince says in chat that his cat pulled out the plug during a match. So plenty of good excuses to go around. So I'll just ask Madslinky what happens now if that was the best ending to a best of 5 ever. Oh, I'd love to. Oh. Okay, so let's see if Danko will accept a rematch. I mean, this is just a weird situation. But let's see if we get a rematch. It would be a pretty sad ending to this series of battles, with the father coming in and pulling and turning the computer off. Oh wow! Oh wow! So yeah, we'll just I'll give Memcan the benefit of the doubt. Uh, so we might get a cliffhanger here if Danko accepts a rematch, if he believes Madslinky, then we will see a rematch. Because his dad pulled the plug. So it's down to Danko now. Actually, this battle could be. If Danko is cool about it, he might accept the rematch. But if Danko decides that he was winning and he wants to give this replay to the admins or something, then it's probably going to be a win in favor of Danko, to be honest. But we'll see. A rematch would be nice, but I don't think we'll see it. So now it's basically down to if Danko accepts the rematch or if it's going to go to an admin decision. If it goes to an admin decision, then and they know that, well, the Memcan is a stand-up guy he's not going to lie about this. His dad actually turned off the computer because he had to go or something. Then okay, sure. Um, then we might have a rematch at a later date. But still, it wouldn't be a smart move pulling the plug in a tournament when streaming. So I don't think Memcan is that stupid, because that would really be stupid. By just pulling the plug, he's basically, if he pulled the plug, he would basically lose. I mean, to a decision in every single case. That's the good thing about being a grown-up. You can stay up all night and play computer games. So Madslinky, just wait until you move out and you get a job and you can play all night and all day. I'm probably going to have to make a highlight of this, since there's so much downtime from the game. Just asking if Danko will accept the rematch.
The weapons we have today, hitting any.
He's going to ask the admin, so it's not going to accept the rematch. Um, so yeah, I'll just end the stream here, because now it's just going to be discussions about who had the advantage, and it's going to an admin decision. So I hope you enjoyed this. I did. It was an interesting bunch of games. It was unfortunate that it ended the way it did. But we'll wait. Good games and well played to both players. We'll see if we get a rematch or if Danko takes this home. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the battlefield.